Hi, friends. It's Rebecca, and today's a very special Sunday. It's the first Sunday of Advent. It's one of my very favorite times of the year. Advent is the time of year when we get ready to celebrate the birth of Jesus. You probably know that we celebrate Christmas on December 25th. That's the day that we celebrate Jesus' birthday. Well, it's only November right now, so we have about a month to get ready to celebrate Jesus' birthday. Lots of people this week will start saying Merry Christmas when they see you, and maybe you'll say it back to them. But it's actually more accurate to say Happy Advent back because Advent's the season we're in the church right now. And I don't want to rush through Advent, even though I love Christmas, because Advent is very special. Advent means the beginning of something. It means to start something, to prepare for it. You ever had a guest who's come to your house to stay with you? What do you have to do to prepare for them? Well, it depends on the guest because you want to make sure that your home is ready for the specific person who's coming to your house. So like at my house, we don't drink coffee, but sometimes we have a guest who does. So I make sure that I buy coffee before they come. Or one of my best friends can't drink cow's milk. So when she comes to visit, I have to make sure I have almond milk in the refrigerator so she has some milk to drink too. There are other things we do to get ready for guests, like we clean the house. And if they're staying overnight, we might change some sheets on a guest bed and make it extra nice for them. Maybe even put a candy or a Hershey's Kiss on the pillowcase. Or maybe you buy an extra toothbrush to put in the bathroom in case they forget theirs. Or you might have a robe or some slippers you put out in case, if it's wintertime, in case they get cold. These are some things we do to make sure that the people we're welcoming into our house feel special and cared for, like we're giving them all the attention they will need to feel welcome. Advent's the time of year when we start to prepare our homes and our hearts for Jesus. So we think about what it means for Jesus to be in the world, to be born, and what would it be like if Jesus was with us as a little baby or a toddler or a guest in our home. We want to prepare our hearts and our families and our community and our church to welcome Jesus. We have some special rituals in the Christian church broadly that help us do this. And you probably have some rituals at your home that help you prepare to welcome Jesus as well. One that many of us do is we create Advent wreaths and we light Advent candles, one each Sunday for Advent. And so you'll see that we do that at church today. Another one is that we might sing songs about Jesus and Jesus's birth in particular. These are some dolls that are look like they're singing, but you might sing songs at your house. We might sing songs with your family, and you'll definitely hear songs if you go shopping or you turn on the radio, all songs about Jesus being born. Sometimes we even reenact or have a play about what it would have been like at Jesus's birth. This is a picture from 2015 at our church doing that kind of play called a Christmas pageant. And maybe you've been in a Christmas pageant or you've seen one. But acting out the events around Jesus's birth are a pretty popular tradition all around the world where Christians live. Sometimes we put up little manger scenes or creches that show us the figures who are there at Jesus's birth. This one's a little glass one, very little, like as big as your finger, from France. Maybe you have one at your house too. This is my very smallest one. It was made by my friend Amy, who goes to church with us, and it's made of beeswax. He's our very littlest Jesus in our household's nativity scenes. They can be big too. Sometimes you'll see them outside lit up at night, like this one. Or people might hang stars in their yard or on their house to remind us of the Star of Bethlehem, which is also part of the story of Jesus's birth. This is my favorite Advent decoration or tradition right now. You might recognize this from last year at our church. This is an Advent calendar. It helps you count down the days till Advent. And this one was a calendar of good and loving deeds that we could do for each other. Sometimes, though, when you open up the different days of an Advent calendar, there might be a treat inside, or a joke, or a piece of candy, or a little toy, or a coin. And that helps us count down the time and reminds us that every day we can do things that help prepare us to welcome Jesus. Well, over the next few Sundays during children's time, we're going to share some other ideas about how we can welcome Jesus. One way is by learning the Christmas story and the Advent story that comes before it, the story of how Jesus was born, where he was born, who was there. We're going to spend some time imagining those things so we can understand the story better. If you have a ritual or an object or a happy memory of Advent and how you and your family prepare for Christmas, I'd like to hear about it. Advent is so important to us in the Christian calendar. It's actually what we consider the beginning of the liturgical year. So you probably know that January 1st is New Year's Day. On the calendar year, it's the first day of the calendar year. But in church, time is measured a little differently. That's called the liturgical calendar. And the liturgical calendar starts at Advent. Because as Christians, we organize our time around Jesus's life. And we consider the time when his mother Mary realized that she was pregnant and going to have a baby to be the start of his life. So this week is the new year in the church. I'm glad we get to spend it together. Please let me know, or let Pastor Derek or let Miss Brenda know, if you like, how your family or you get to prepare for Christmas during the Advent season. You can take a picture or draw a picture and share it with us via email. Or during sharing time, you can share something if you're at church, or if you're on Zoom, you can even go in around your house and pick it up and bring it to share. You can ask a grown-up around you to share it for you. We would love to see what you're doing to prepare for Christmas. Happy Advent.